Neighbors Somalia and Ethiopia have been at odds since landlocked Ethiopia struck a deal with Somalia's breakaway coastal region of Somaliland in January. The deal offered Addis Ababa a stretch of coastline for a port and military base in exchange for the possibility of recognizing Somaliland's independence in the future. Mogadishu was furious, and it claimed sovereignty over the region despite its unilateral declaration of independence in 1991. All through the year, both Ethiopia and Somalia defended their position on the matter, and the possibility of conflict grew larger. However, they decided to give peace talks a chance once Ankara offered mediation, and the Turkish President Erdogan was pleased with the result.
With the valuable contributions of both countries, we have prepared the joint declaration text that we have agreed on today. This joint declaration records the principles that these two friendly countries, which are very important to us in terms of focusing on the future and not the past, will build from now on.
The joint declaration came after 8 hours of talks. The sides have agreed to work towards further talks in the new year that will ensure what it calls Ethiopia's reliable, safe and sustainable access to the sea, but under the authority of Somalia. The technical talks will begin in February and should be completed within 4 months with the support of Türkiye. Both leaders agreed that after years of war in the region, people wanted to see a peaceful resolution which could aid both nations.
We belong to a region where peace and stability is the first priority for our people's lives. And we have common and mutual opportunities to develop together in our own interests. Somalia will contribute towards that, and we are ready to work with the Ethiopian leadership and the Ethiopian people to benefit the opportunities that we had in all aspects.
As neighbors, Ethiopia and Somalia have endured relations for centuries. We are not only neighbors, but brothers and sisters whose fates have been bound by blood. Not only do Ethiopians and Somalis share common ancestry, language, and culture, but we are also held together with the blood sacrifice that has been paid by thousands of Ethiopian soldiers in defense of the security of the state of Somalia from terrorist forces.
The port deal row has created tensions in the Horn of Africa, drawing in Ethiopia's long-standing rival Egypt and Eritrea. And with the joint declaration now done, the mediator Türkiye says it is a first step towards peace and cooperation. Caroline B., CGTN.
Let's get more details on this. We're joined by Mikhail Bardavid in Istanbul. Mikhail, what is in the Ethiopia-Somalia compromise deal that was reached yesterday?
Well, yes, the joint declaration was announced after Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan met separately with the President of Somalia and the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. And according to the text agreement that was released by Türkiye, the parties agreed to leave behind their differences of opinion and contentious issues and to resolutely move forward towards common prosperity. It says that the sides agreed for technical talks to begin in February of next year and that they would be concluded within 4 months. Now, the parties agreed that Somalia's territorial integrity would be respected while recognizing the potential benefits of Ethiopia's reliable, safe, and sustainable access to the sea. The declaration also says that they would work closely together on commercial agreements as well as bilateral agreements as well. And both sides have agreed that if they have any issues that arise, that they would deal with them with a tough dialogue, and that Turkey, if needed, would once again mediate between these two countries.
What have been some of these sticking points and how have the two countries agreed to deal with them?
Well, the feud began back in January when Ethiopia signed a deal with Somaliland to lease a stretch of its coastline for a port and a military base. But Somaliland seceded from Somalia 30 years ago. It is not recognized, however, by the African Union or by the United Nations as an independent state. And Somalia still considers Somaliland to be part of its own territory. So this agreement that was signed between Somaliland and Ethiopia created a lot of tension, significant tension, and Somalia proceeded perceived it as a violation of its sovereignty. And on top of that, of course, Ethiopia's push for a broader access to the sea added even more tension, more friction, creating both military and diplomatic challenges in the region. And this new agreement that was brokered by Turkey now addresses these sticking points explicitly, recognizing Somalia's territorial integrity, but also ensuring that Ethiopia would have access to the sea.
Well, Mikhail, you mentioned that Turkey did say that should there be a need for it to mediate again, it is ready and willing. Why is Ankara keen to end the feud between these two countries?
Well, Turkey has strong both economic and strategic interests in resolving this conflict. It does have deep ties with both of these countries. In Somalia, for example, Somalia hosts Turkey's largest overseas military base since 2017 in Mogadishu. It also has signed a defense and economic cooperation agreement with Somalia in the beginning of this year. But also, when we take a look at its agreements with Ethiopia, its ties with Ethiopia, it also enjoys commercial and economic ties with Turkey, which include the sale of over a dozen of drones in 2021 to Ethiopia. So by mediating this dispute, Ankara strengthens its relationships with both countries and influences in the Horn of Africa. And also, this is of course critical for regional stability and also for security in the region as well. And by resolving this feud, Turkey once again has also showed that it can take on the role of the mediator, the role of the peace broker, which is also significant for Ankara as a whole.